Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler and you're watching Redmen TV.
Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. Today I'm joined by Ste and Aubrey Reynolds for a Reds News Roundup. It's a subscriber show, of course, but we'll be releasing the first part of this subscriber show special on YouTube because I think it's important that every Liverpool fan gets to talk and gets their opinions across on this. Obviously, you can do it by putting your opinions in the comments section below. But the main talking point of this show is the ticket pricing structure that Liverpool released yesterday. It dominated talk at the match last night at Leicester, dominated talk on the way home, and Jay McKenna, head of Spirits of Shankly, wrote an absolutely incredible article on the Anfield Wrap about it, so do go and check that out. We're just going to go over briefly what the main talking points are, lads. So I'll just quickly run through what they are, and then if we just have your opinions on it and stuff first. So which camera do you want me to go to, Tom? Hello. So Liverpool released this statement. Basically, these are the summary of the ticket prices. 64% of season ticket prices will decrease or freeze for next season. 45% of matchday tickets will see a decrease. Local fans are given priority access to over 20,000 tickets across the Premier League season, prices starting as low as £9. 20,000 extra tickets allocated across the Premier League season in a new pricing category for fans aged between 17 and 21. Over 1,000 free tickets across the Premier League season to local kids through the new Young Fan Initiative scheme. And finally, they said they've been in a 13-month consultation with the ticket working group. Lads, you've obviously had a chance to read over Jay McKenna's article. Now, when you read that sort of summary out, it sounds good on the surface, doesn't it? But if you read Jay's article, everyone's got their own opinions on it. There's a lot that they're missing out, basically, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, no ticket at Anfield should have increased, not one. So what they've done better effectively is they've gone for the youth initiative, which is great. They've gone, cheaper tickets, albeit there's not many. I think it's a bit of a sugarcoat in that. But then they funded that by putting other people's prices up. So a guy who sits, for example, in the lower centenary, his ticket might go by £200. And the same way you can move your seat, but where are you moving to? You can't move into the Cop because the Cop's full of season tickets. No one's going to be moving out of there. So do you move into the main stand? So if you've sat in your seat for 30 years and now you can't afford anymore because it's a £200 price increase, you've got to move. I just think it was a chance for Liverpool to do something really great PR-wise by saying, listen, the worst that's going to happen is your season ticket's going to stay the same price. But for any ticket to go up, 70, the highest ticket might be 70 odd quid. It's just ridiculous. And I'm all for trying to get kids into younger people into the game because people can't afford it. Fantastic. But in a climate where there's money flowing about everywhere, there's TV deals, there's sponsorship, there's everything at Anfield now's got a sponsor on it. Where you go for a piss on it's the Carling half-time piss or something. So then why do you have to make a deal for people to go to the game? What's the logic other than pure capitalism and greed that'll earn the club £2 million over the course of a season? Why do it? Why upset people and why alienate your fans? I can't for the life of me figure out why.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I think, Aubrey, there's Steve mentions alienating the fans and stuff, and Liverpool have said that there has been a 13-month consultation period, but Jay McKenna's sat on that ticket working group from his position as Spirits of Shankly, and what Jay goes on to say is that it wasn't so much a consultation as basically the club telling them what they will do. I think from what I understand, the ticket working group gave their opinions on what should be the case, but for the large part they were ignored. Just before I get Aubrey's opinion on this, actually, I have booked Jay McKenna in to come and join us on Tuesday. So we will do a special with Jay McKenna and get his full in-depth analysis of this. So anyone who wants a lot more knowledge than we're able to provide will be able to get that on Tuesday. But we just thought it's important to give a nod to the news now before we get Jay in, who's the man in the know, basically. So yeah, Aubrey, a couple of the key things, Steve picked up on it there. It's £2 million is essentially the difference to Liverpool Football Club. As it stands now, Liverpool make £35 million from matchday tickets over the course of a year. If the main stand was to open and every ticket stayed the same price,
they'd have gone 37.
They'd have gone to £37 million. So actually, they've increased by £2 million their turnover on that. I think what's really interesting is it seems to be a little bit of, I'm taking off you to give to you. Yeah. And Steve mentioned it then, didn't he? And it's not the right approach, really, is it?
It's not, no. Like, ultimately, we can't be naive. Football is a huge industry, and there's a lot of money to be made from football. But actually, the money to be made from the ground isn't where the money is made in football anymore. Now, let's say they start pricing people out the market. Now, this is never going to happen, because unfortunately, whether we do it on the pitch and whether we're doing it consistently season-wise, we're a huge club and people will travel to come and fill the ground. But if people start going to the ground, does that start affecting the play? Does that start affecting the brand? They don't seem to think of it in that way. You know, the fact that there's 40,000 people singing, or not singing, as sometimes is the case at Anfield, is part of the package that you are selling to China, that you are selling to America, you know, with where the TV revenue comes from. You know, instantly, subconsciously, if you look at empty-seated stadiums and there's no atmosphere at all, if you're in China or Australia, you think, oh, am I going to watch this or not? I might flick over. But they're damaging the main money brand by pricing out the normal fan. Now, it's felt like they've not cared about the normal fan for a long time. Anyway, you know, not just Liverpool owners, football ownership in the Premier League for a long time. And it's just increasingly pushing towards that as being a thumbs up. I mean, it's like a stub of the thumb to them, isn't it? It's like they're basically saying, okay, we'll do the PR, we'll have a consultation group, you can come in, we'll listen to you, we're going to do what we're going to do anyway. And that's from, again, Jay will explain in much better detail if that is exactly the case. From reading his article and a little bit of comment that I've managed to look at over the last few days, that's what it feels like. They've suggested these things, and they're almost like empty gestures. It'd almost be, if they were going to be so cold-hearted and just go, yeah, we listen to that, we're not going to do it, you might have even respected them a little bit more. It'd have been horrible. But for them to say, like, oh, okay, we're going to do low-initiative tickets, which amount to, I think it's like 2,000 across the season.
I'll tell you what, we've got the facts here. So it's £9. The £9 tickets that Liverpool are talking about, they're only going to be available for 3 matches of the season. Yeah. So essentially, that works out as 1,581 tickets out of a possible 878,693 tickets.
And if they'd have done that, Chris, and said, listen, for 3 games a year, you know, the Category C games, aren't they? We're going to give people a chance who haven't got a chance because they're a bit skint to come in. We'd have been made up for them. You know what? That's so good. It's just a massive PR blunder that they've done that. They've done these, you know, 17 to 21s, which Liverpool have been crying out for ages, because every other team tends to do that. You know, give students or, you know, people on less income at that age a chance to get in the game for a bit, and then they ruin it by putting prices up somewhere else. So rather than sitting in on these couches and talking about the great things they've done, because some of it is really positive, some of it's spot on. The freezers, the decreases, the young people tickets, the £9 tickets to get people in the game. We're sitting here going, yeah, but someone, you're not everyone else. You're basically you're paying for that by throwing 200 quid onto some fella's season ticket. It's
called subsidising. Yeah. You've seen it across every business model since the dawn of business.
It's never going to hurt them, and it ultimately should have. And again, we were sitting there on the Redmen TV couches. We're all Liverpool fans. You drove to and from Leicester last night, so ultimately you want what's best for Liverpool Football Club, but there comes a limit, doesn't there? So like, they're going to make 2 million. If, like, as 2 million quid roughly. They were going to make 2 million just by adding the extra seats, weren't they? If nothing changed.
And by the way, we're just talking about Matchday tickets here. We're not even getting into hospitality or anything like that. This is on your pure Matchday and season tickets only. Yeah. The hospitality, they're making the money back, or they should be, on building the stand through hospitality. That's what their plan has been.
That was what their plan was.
So this is just an extra 2 million that they're literally, it seems like they're just creaming off the top.
Yeah. And it's really disappointing for me. I just find it disheartening, and it's, you know, we're not that good a team anyway at the minute. We're, you know, the product on the pitch isn't great. So next year, someone's got to pay more to watch a worse team than they watched 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and the £2 million extra revenue isn't going to make Liverpool a better team. No. It's not, because what's it going to do? It might pay a bit of someone's wages you bring in. It's not like you've said, right, we're going to get you this extra money, we're going to charge you more, but by doing it, we make X amount of money.
We're going to buy a Suarez every year.
Yeah, and it allows us that, because it doesn't. The ticket money now, it's not irrelevant, but it's almost not as important as, like, say, the sponsorships and the TV money. It's not that big a deal in terms of those coming in.
The Dunkin' Donuts deal buys you a player a season. The naming rights on the stadium, which I don't ever want us to enter into, but if it ever became a thing of, listen, Anfield's worth 20 million over 3 years, 50 million over 3 years, 100 million, and we have done good business. We've been leading the way.
Commercially,
What we've done, like some of the deals we've got. So we will. Lewandowski's going to join us in the summer because we've sold the naming rights. As a fan, you kind of go,
take that.
oh, okay, I can understand.
You're still going to call it Anfield anyway.
Yeah, it's
Makes no odds.
But the fact that it's almost pittance. Now, it's ridiculous for us to sit here and talk about 2 million as being pittance. But ultimately, in the grand scheme of Liverpool Football Club and football finances, it's not that. Whereas they could have earned so much good PR. There's also a short-termism to it, which I've noticed. Everton don't sell out as much. Everton have their initiatives, but Everton give a hell of a lot of tickets to schools for nothing. So you're getting like, you get a whole primary school class goes to Everton as their trip in the North Liverpool area. Those memories live with you. So when you're 8 or 9, you mightn't even know about football or whatever. You don't know who you're picking. But if you've been on 2 or 3 or 4 school trips and you had really great memories of going there, when you get to 12, 13, 14, you start making that decision of who you actually are going to pick to support. You're going to pick the team that you've been to the game in the ground and got treated really well from 4 or 5 times, or the team that you've never even seen, and you go to your dad and your dad goes, I can't afford to take you because it's 50 quid for a kid's ticket and 70 quid for his ticket. So we're actually short-termism. We're depriving the local community of our future fans who, ultimately, football moves on fast. It goes really quick. It was shocking the other day when we were talking about something and I was like, God, that goal was 20 years ago. Where did that go? The kids now are the ones who are going to be the people who go and spend the money at the game, at the ground. And it just looks like they've got such a narrow-minded view of it. You're completely right. They could have had a huge PR win. If they'd have come out and just said, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're supporting everything through the main stand. There's new seat. Hospitality's coming in. Obviously, that we don't care about that. None of us are really in the hospitality market.
Some of us might be, though. That's one of the things. They've capped, I think, the ticket price now at £77 or something. But technically, they've actually changed a lot of these higher-end prices to rebranded them to lower tier hospitality. So some of these seats that we're just used to seeing are actually going to be classed as lower tier hospitality now, and so actually we're not quite sure at the minute what is the high level price for a game of football, because they're reporting that it's 77, but there's Jay's mentioned that figures like 175 could be it, and what do you get involved in that? And and that leads us into when they were talking about the redevelopment of Anfield, there would be 4,000 extra matchday tickets. Now, if they're now classing those higher tier ones as low-level hospitality, it changes it to actually more like 3,000 tickets available for matchday. But it's not just season. I mean, season tickets actually, on the whole, may have come out all right. Say the 64%.
Sitting, don't it?
Of course. I mean, I was sat somewhere a few years ago where my ticket was £75 cheaper than the person next to me for exactly the same view. Now, I do understand if the strategy that they're using to decide by, you've got to draw a line somewhere. Personally, I would do it on a row of stairs, because the likelihood is you don't talk to the fella across the stairs from you and you're not asking him how much your season ticket is. Not, 3 inside the chair and you give one a different there, because obviously you're going to get people who are like, why? We're literally got the exact same view here. I lost my train of thought there now. So yeah, I think on the most part, season ticket holders have been done all right. The ones who've really been stiff though, match day tickets, like membership tickets, those prices have really increased, and it's not great at the minute. As I say, do let us know in the comments section below what your thoughts on it are. Do tune in next week where we will have the man himself, Jay McKenna, hopefully coming on the show to talk about it in much more greater depth. His knowledge as well on the subject is phenomenal, because he's been involved in this for the last 13 months, but much more, I don't know how to describe it. He's much more involved in those sort of workings of the club than we are on the Redmen TV.
We're just looking at it from a
consumer.
Don't say consumer.
Well, it's more. We're more looking at it as a case of, am I going to be able to afford to go to the match? So I'm on the season ticket waiting list now. there was a chance that I might have got on for the new main stand. It's touch and go because I'm around 3,000, so it's touch and go.
Can you afford it?
I don't know if I can. So I might have waited since I think I've been on the list since 1999. When I was like 12. Now, so it's now 2016. I might get me chance. Oh shit, it's £1,000.
Yeah. How do I justify that?
So now where am I getting that grand from? And that's when you end up that's when you end up Paul with sorry Chris, Paul, can you talking to me left? You're doing that good a job. You end up where that's where you end up with touts who buy the ticket and then sell it every game because they physically can't afford to do it, but you're never going to pass the opportunity up. You know, because if you got offered one, you take it.
And then figure out the money later.
And you figure out the money, and then it might be a case of, right, well, I'll go to one, you go to one, you go to one, and then Liverpool stop you doing that now because they're kicking people out for doing that. So it's like, I can't figure out for the life of me, for £2 million, which, like Orb said, we don't want to...
It's nothing for the club.
It's nothing for them. It's great for us. We'd all love £2 million extra quid. I'd love the £2 extra quid. But £2 million, and you've...
£2 not that much, though. Not on a monthly basis, Steve. No. Because you can get amazing content from the redmentv.com for £2 a month. So tread carefully here, Steve. Don't.
I said it was cheap. I said I'd love to have
£2 cheap, yeah.
I said I'd love to have £2 a month.
Okay, sound, yeah.
So...
to buy your redmentv.com membership.
First month's free.
That man over there, that's why he's here all the time.
He knows it. So £2 million. Did you really? I'd love to sit down and say, did you really have to do that? What was your thought of, right? What's that £2 million going to get us? What's it really buying Liverpool? Is it making us a better team? Probably not. Are the facilities at Anfield going to be £2 million better? Are you going to reinvest that £2 million? No. Essentially, it's going into a shareholders, isn't it? It's going to the money.
Well, I mean, there's lots of rumours, isn't there, about whether that this is sort of getting Liverpool ready on FSG, more importantly, for an exit strategy by making the club worth more. Is that something that you think is the case? Because I mean, I'm not against FSG. I've actually supported most of the decisions that they've made. I think they've been good owners to Liverpool Football Club. The problem is we've been hurt before, haven't we? By previous owners who you think want to do the best for you. Do you think it's part of an exit strategy or not?
It's hard to know, isn't it? FSG, they've been committed. We want to win. We want to win. We're here they are making money because they're going to make money, which is fine as long as we win. But we're not winning, and then they're going to make money. I think that climate hurts as well. The fact that the team isn't that good at the minute doesn't help this come out. You know what I mean? You release your tickets on the day that you get beat by top of the league, Leicester. Leicester top of the league, we're 7-4-8, and we're getting hammered by them. Doesn't help. But if they are really looking to sell, I would want to sell my club based on, right, although we earn $2 million less, we did this because it means that the Anfield atmosphere is better. The singing, the noise, because I hate making this into an argument of locals and blah blah blah. It's not, because there'll be some scousers who don't sing, and there'll be a guy who comes smiling, everybody who sings his heart out. But an £18-90 ticket, who's really going to buy them tickets? It's probably going to be foreign fans or tourist fans. I hate to say that argument, but is that going to add to the Anfield atmosphere? Can you sell that to a new owner, or are you getting to a case where, right, you're going to watch and spectate as the football match rather than be a part of the football match? Because
I think it's slightly veering into the atmosphere Anfield thing, but I think the problem with Anfield's atmosphere at the moment is the people who go every week who are bored by it or frustrated by it. So it doesn't matter if you're a casual. You can come from Ireland, and again, those tickets are going to appeal to them because you will treat yourself. If that's your holiday,
exactly.
I've got a brother-in-law who lives in Australia. He comes every time he comes over because he's only in the country every 3 years, and he'll go to 2 or 3 games if he can and get there, and he'll pay whatever. We paid ridiculous price to get a ticket to go to the game last minute. He was over because it was last minute and he wanted it. And he has a different experience because he doesn't know every chant. He doesn't know everyone, but he's happy to be there. He's not grumbling. He definitely doesn't swear at the fans. You've got to have that mix. Where I find is it's the price now to the young market, the young local, because the young local are the ones who want to sing, and the young local are the ones who will know the songs, and that's where they've really let it down. Because we're a club that we're fortunate enough to have a lot of fans who are from overseas. Other clubs don't have that.
It's great, it's a great thing.
And it is a good thing that puts it in. Generally, you're not going to go and be bitter and moan. Okay, you can't sing every song because it's in a different language or you don't know the words. There's things that the club could do to help that. But ultimately, They're the ones who buy stuff in the Liverpool shop on the day. They're the ones who buy programmes. They bring in extra money on top of what they're already spending in ridiculous prices. And they're fucking happy to be there. I've been with my brother-in-law. We got beat 4-1. He was still made up. He still filmed, Never Walk Alone. He was still happy all day because he just wanted to be in Anfield. That atmosphere is good. It's not the raging, amazing atmosphere that you want. It's a good atmosphere. It's the pricing out for corporate hospitality prices. So it's people who are just getting entertained and wined and dined on a deal whilst some brokering's going on, a business deal, or just losing that young audience who are local young audience they'd love it and they'd give it that everything. That's the atmosphere that we're lacking, and they've just completely missed the boat.
Yeah. And it's hard to know, would we all be Liverpool fans if you didn't go to match when you were a kid? Because the opportunity would have been there to support Everton. Thank God it's not there.
I chose not to.
But
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You could have, because my dad used to take me to match, or we go to uncles or whatever would take me to match. If Everton tickets were 30 quid cheaper, and it turned out that my uncle, who's a Blue Nose, my mum couldn't afford to send me to Anfield, but you can go with your uncle to watch Everton for
no, you would have.
I might have went, and it could have been, and it could be the same for any of us. And that's the issue. That's the big issue in that. We're going to get to a stage now where, like Orb said before, you're going to lose that generation of 10, 11, 12-year-olds who become the next generation of die-hard fans, home and away season ticket holders. You might lose them because their parents simply can't afford. Yeah. And the £9 gesture...
We're new parents. Yeah. Our kids are about the same age and stuff. And I wonder whether I'm going to be able to afford to take Robin to the match. And the likelihood is, I'm not.
No, not every week. It might be like what Aubrey said,
you pick and choose, don't you? And that's not what being a supporter of a football club is about. You can't force me. I want to be a supporter of a Liverpool Football Club. Don't force me to pick and choose when I'm a supporter, because then I'm a spectator. I'm a supporter all the time and I want to be there for every single game. I can't afford to go to all the away games. That's just a fact of life. Yeah. But I would do, and I would go if I could afford it and I could get tickets every week. I would go to Anfield every single week if I could afford it every single week. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not in a position where I can do that because the ticket prices are so high. And if they go up even further, then I definitely know that I couldn't be taking my kid along, which will kill me, that I'll be going to the football without my kid, because all I've wanted to do since I found out I was a dad is looking forward to taking my kid to the match and to let her enjoy what I am so passionate about. That I'm fucking sat here on a couch talking about footy every single day of the week. It kills me to think that I'm not going to be able to take my daughter to the match.
Absolutely, and I say, I've always said, my plan would be, I'm going to have a season ticket, and the day he turns 16, there you go, mate, it's yours, enjoy it. And I'll pay for it for him until he's got a job. And then he can hand it down, because that's what happens. I know you're not meant to do it, but everyone does it.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. You're 16, you can go to every game now, mate. When you turn 21, you're paying for it yourself, or when you've got a job, and then in 20 years' time, you might have a kid, and you can pass it to him or her. Now,
but I'm taking the United never.
But but the derby's mine. But then, I don't know, can it happen? So now it's a case of I can't go to the match with my 16-year-old son, and we can both have season tickets because it's too dear. So I'm going to have to give it to him to go on his own. And again, that makes me sad, because there's nothing more that I'd want than every Saturday or every other Saturday to take Lucas to the game with me. And from when he's 6, when he's just in awe of everything, to when he's 16 and 18 and he's bitter of it all, and he's trying to get rid of me because he wants to get pissed on the ale. Can't happen. It's really sad, and it makes me really angry and quite upset that it might not ever happen. It might just be 1 or 2 games a season for a treat for your birthday or for Christmas, or someone's managed to get me a ticket on the cheap. No, sorry, we're not going to go every week, mate, and it's really, really disappointing.
You've also just hit upon something that I was going to say, which is go in the game with your family, go in the game with your dad. It's great. I love it when you see it. And Anfield's still got that atmosphere. You can see like 2 or 3 generations together at the match. But it's very different to go in the game with your mate. And there's no way on earth, with the way ticket prices are currently in this country, across the board, but definitely at Liverpool, there's no way that 2 15-year-olds are going to be able to afford to go to the match together. So it's the ones who will, it's already going to segregate the market. Liverpool, the country as a whole, it's got a big class warfare going on. The city's got that. So you're going to have the parents of kids who either sacrifice to go to the game or are a little bit well off, can afford to take their kid. But you don't go with your mate. If you don't build those bonds, you don't build that atmosphere of, oh, this is what I do watching the game with my mate. The four of us go to the game together and we sit together, or the four of us go to the pub before and then we all go in and then we meet afterwards. It's not making it part of culture. And it's ridiculous, but Liverpool Football Club is a huge part of this city, and so is Everton. And the city is a huge part of the football club. They feed back onto each other, and you're actually removing that. The more and more we move towards high prices, the more and more it becomes about tourist fans or outside fans, you're starting to lose that thing of the culture. And it's angry for me, because I don't want the next generation of Robbie Fowler and Steve McManaman and Steven Gerrard growing up being Everton fans. And that's what they're going to be.
The last generation were as well, in fairness.
A lot of them were.
But you know what I mean?
I totally get your point.
But there's definitely a whole massive chance that all the local Scouse players who we've done shows a few weeks ago, we'll do shows in the future of, is it important to have a Scouse player in the team? Is it important to have that local heartbeat? And I generally think it is. All of them are going to be Everton fans, because the schools that are getting taken to games are Everton games. The tickets that are available are Everton games. The uncle who can go, oh, you know what, he's never been to a football match and he's 8, I'll take him. If you're looking at it objectively, single mums or whatever, they don't care really. They mightn't follow football, but the kid's desperate to go and see a football match. One's 70 quid and one's 30 quid. Or there's only 2,000 reduced tickets for kids throughout the year, or something like. One of the figures was something close to that. And then Everton are actually doing this allocated tickets every game. You fall so far behind, and I think there's some stuff that you can't buy, and there's some stuff that you can't put a price on. And they've put a price on it of 2 million, which when you sign £100 million kit deal, 2 million's pittance.
Exactly. And do you know what? Just go on, just before.
My last one was just going to be made. It comes at a time when other clubs and other teams and etc. are constantly freezing or reducing prices. The way, like, I think it was recently I saw Stoke price freeze, Man City price freeze, Everton have done the price freeze. You don't even have to reduce them. It'd be ideal if you did, and it'd be great if you did, and everyone would love it. But if you said, listen, times are hard, blah 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 blah, we're gonna cap it at that, and it's going to stay the same. And everyone will go, you know what? We'd like a reduction, but fair enough. We're paying it now. We can get by again. When every other club is doing that, why can't Liverpool do that? Yeah. For £2 million, again, I'm trivialising £2 million, but for £2 million, you've got people like us, and like doing these conversations, like say yesterday on the bus up and down to Leicester and back, the game at the weekend or whatever, it'll be the same again. And I was on social media last night because I didn't go to the game. And it was like they're expecting us to pay £77 to watch this crap, and it's just all you've done. The team are playing crap. And on top of that, you've pissed everyone off by doing this again. And it's become another case of club against fans, not club and fans as one.
And you know, just sort of finally on this for me, it goes against everything that Jurgen Klopp's done while he's been in this club. Because he has said more than anything else that he wants the fans to be a part of it. He's shown that with his actions on the field after the games and stuff. He wants us to be loud and stuff like that. He wants us to be a unified force because he understands that having the fans on side, I think, and I think he thinks this as well, is worth more than that £2 million. Yeah. That 12th man every single week for 18 games a season or whatever it is, 19 games a season, is worth more than £2 million to Liverpool Football Club. And, you know, finally, just on the £2 million front, if you want to make £2 million more over the course of a season from Liverpool fans, change it from fucking Carlsberg in the ground to something else. I guarantee you will make a prickload more than £2 million if it's not Carlsberg.
They stuck Amstel or San Miguel in there. I've been to 10 games in the last 2 months. I've not bought a pint once. If they sold Amstel or San Miguel, I'd have had a pint.
See?
I'd have had 2.
See, former hospitality manager.
You know what I mean? And it's not uncommon. It's loads of people like, I can't even drink this piss, and they won't do it.
Out of a plastic bottle as well. Does it get any worse than Carlsberg in a plastic bottle? No, it doesn't.
Imagine, I'd say, for £2 million, and again, it's different budgets and stuff. Just get rid of one of your. Tell the manager your last squad player, you're not allowed him. So Jose Enrique, you're out, or your wage bill comes down by £2 million. If that's how you want him, if you're that desperate for that £2 million in your back pocket. take Jose Enrique and throw him in the sea. Because
do both, James Carlsberg and throw him in the sea. I'm fine with both. You made £4 million there, Liverpool Football
How easy
Club.
is this?
I know, it's easy. What else should we do? Jettison all the safety procedures at Anfield. We don't need
Anfield, we don't need any Operation Anfield.
I mean, they're paying him. They must be paying him £2 million. He just stands there and shouts Operation Anfield every fucking week. Anyway, listen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, we're going to continue the show over on the RedmenTV.com, where we'll be talking about Alex Teixeira and the fact that deal never went through. Lazar Markovic and his comments on Liverpool Football Club, the fact that we actually couldn't get rid of Jose Enrique, and also a little bit about Joe Allen and Jamie Vardy. So do join us over there on the RedmenTV.com. As mentioned before, it is £2 a month. The first month is free. Drop a like on the video on YouTube and subscribe to the channel as well, and we'll see you on the other side. So lads, back into it.
Again, Alex Teixeira, if he's not worth £50 million that they want, I've got no issue with not paying it. Some people have, just pay whatever you want. That's just irresponsible. But if the manager thinks that's an area of the team that we need to improve on, which he clearly does, we haven't done anything with it. And we haven't scored a goal for like 5 hours now. So it's just